Ever wonder how a team rebounds when injuries start shaking up the roster? Well, the Kansas City Chiefs are about to face that challenge head on. Greetings, Chiefs Kingdom. Welcome back to the channel. We've got a lot to talk about today, especially with the Chiefs making some surprising roster moves this week. Injuries have been hitting the team hard, but these changes might just shake things up for Monday Night Football against the Saints. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates and analysis. Did you ever think about what the Chiefs should do in times like these? Let's dive into everything you need to know, including the latest on Rashee Rice and other key injuries. So buckle up as we break down what this all means for our boys in red and gold. All right, let's kick things off with the roster changes. The Chiefs have opened a 21-day window for running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire to return from the non-football injury (NFI) list. He's been sidelined for the first 4 weeks of the season, but he's been around the team, attending meetings, working out, and even traveling with the squad. However, the big news is he just started practicing this week with the scout team to get his rhythm back. Head coach Andy Reid isn't ready to confirm if Clyde will be activated for Monday Night Football yet, but given the injury situation, it's definitely a possibility. With an open roster spot, his return could happen sooner rather than later, which would be huge for the Chiefs. Now, let's talk about the unfortunate news. Rashee Rice has officially been placed on injured reserve. That means he'll be out for at least the next 4 games. But here's the silver lining. Reports indicate that his injury might not be season-ending. There were sightings of him walking normally in the locker room, and while he had a leg sleeve on due to swelling around his knee, it's a good sign that he's not completely immobilized. However, as we all know, just because someone looks fine walking doesn't mean there aren't underlying issues. According to Albert Breer from Sports Illustrated, Rice is expected to undergo a knee scope next week once the swelling goes down. There are concerns about a potential ACL or PCL injury, but we're all hoping for the best. If the findings are minor, he might just need some time to heal and could be back in about 6 to 8 weeks. In the wake of Rice's injury, Patrick Mahomes took to the media to express his feelings about the play that led to the interception and, ultimately, Rice's injury. He admitted he didn't grasp how serious it was at first, but felt terrible watching the replay. His main concern was for Rice, and not so much about his performance. It's pretty rare to hear Mahomes express himself so openly, showing just how much he cares about his teammates. Losing a key player like Rice early in the game poses serious challenges for the offense. Adjusting the game plan on the fly is tough, especially when you're down one of your top wide receivers. But thankfully, with the extra time to prepare for this Monday night matchup, the Chiefs are in a better position to adapt. Andy Reid also spoke to the media, sharing his disappointment for Rice but remaining optimistic about the situation. He acknowledged that injuries are an unfortunate part of the game. While there's no direct replacement for Rice, Reid has faith in the other players on the roster, especially in the wide receiver department. However, the injury woes don't end with Rice. We've got another wide receiver on the injury report, Mecole Hardman. He's been dealing with a knee issue and was limited in practice yesterday, then didn't participate today. Not a great sign for his availability on Monday Night Football, which leaves the Chiefs with just 4 healthy receivers: Juju Smith-Schuster, Xavier Worthy, Justin Watson, and Sky Moore. Now, with Rashee Rice on IR, the Chiefs have filled that roster spot by signing tight end Jody Fortson instead of bringing in another wide receiver. This move raised some eyebrows, especially since Hardman's situation is also uncertain. Fortson was on the practice squad and had just joined the team about a week and a half ago after spending some time with the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. This could be an interesting move, especially with Hardman not at 100%. The Chiefs now have as many healthy wide receivers as they do tight ends. The tight end lineup now includes Travis Kelce, Noah Gray, Jared Wiley, and Jody Fortson. Fortson can be a big-bodied target, often utilized in ways similar to how Justin Ross was used, especially for those 50 balls and in the red zone. If Fortson suits up, expect him to play a significant role, particularly in red zone situations. The Chiefs might lean into multiple tight end sets to boost their run game against the Saints, which could work in their favor since they currently boast the highest rushing success rate in the league at 52.1% through the first 4 weeks. This strategy might open up passing opportunities through play action, especially with reliable targets like Travis Kelce and Noah Gray alongside Fortson. The Chiefs certainly have solid options in the red zone, and they'll need every advantage they can get. Shifting gears a bit, we have to mention Mecole Hardman's limited usage on offense. He's been primarily serving as the main punt and kick returner. Special teams coordinator Dave Tube mentioned that if Hardman can't go, either Nico Regi or Montrell Washington could step in as returners through practice squad elevations. Given that Hardman was limited in practice yesterday and didn't participate today, it's likely one of those players will be called up to handle return duties. I'm leaning toward Montrell Washington, who did well in a similar role last season, averaging 7.6 yards per punt return with a long of 23 yards. Of course, there's always a chance they could go with Nico Regi, who could also contribute on offense if needed. We'll find out this weekend when the practice squad elevations are announced. It's a bit surprising they chose Fortson over one of the three receivers on the practice squad, but I trust the coaching staff to make the right call. Switching gears to the defense, we got some updates from defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, who praised Jalen Watson, the team's current cornerback number 2. He's been playing well, despite missing out on an interception last week. Spagnuolo noted that explosive plays have hurt the defense a couple of times, but overall he feels the unit is performing well, especially against the run. This week, they'll need to keep that momentum going as they face the Saints' Alvin Kamara. Kamara has been impressive, rushing for at least 77 yards in every game this season. He not only has 5 rushing touchdowns, but also over 200 receiving yards and a touchdown through the air. The Chiefs have consistently shut down talented backs like Derrick Henry, Zach Moss, Bijan Robinson, and J.K. Dobbins, so I believe they can contain Kamara too. Now, on the Saints side, Derek Carr and his team started the season strong, scoring back-to-back 40-point games against the Panthers and Cowboys. However, they've since cooled off, managing only 12 points against the Eagles and 24 against the Falcons. Carr has thrown just 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions during the stretch, which means he's definitely hungry for a win, especially considering his 1-8 career record against Patrick Mahomes. The Saints have some solid receivers like Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed, who have combined for 517 yards and 3 touchdowns. However, their tight end options, Foster Moreau and Jawan Johnson, have been quiet, failing to reach 100 total receiving yards this season. Additionally, Jan Johnson is dealing with a hand or wrist injury, so we'll see how that affects their game plan. Segment 10, Taysom Hill's status. Taysom Hill is another important player for the Saints, providing versatility as he can play running back, tight end, or quarterback. However, he hasn't practiced in the last couple of days due to multiple fractured ribs. If he plays on Monday, he won't be at 100%, which could be a significant blow to the Saints' offense. Despite Hill's potential absence, the Saints' offense is still a strong threat, currently ranking as the #1 scoring offense, averaging 31.8 points per game. They're also second best on third downs and in the red zone. So the Chiefs' defense will have their work cut out for them. One critical point to keep an eye on is that the Saints' offensive line is dealing with several injuries. Guard Cesar Ruiz hasn't practiced due to a knee injury, and another lineman, Shane Lemieux, is also limited with an ankle issue. Their starting center, Eric McCoy, is on IR following recent groin surgery. Left tackle, Taysom Hill has been limited with back and knee issues as well. It seems like a lot of their roster is dealing with injuries, even Alvin Kamara with his hip and rib issues. On the bright side, the Chiefs appear relatively healthy on the defensive side. Linebacker Nick Bolton, defensive end Mike Dana, and defensive tackle Derek Nottie are the only players listed on the injury report. But luckily, they're all expected to play on Monday. Don't forget to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more updates as we lead into kickoff. Let's rally behind our Chiefs and make sure we're ready to support them as they take on the Saints. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next video.